Hey guys, Steve here. Before we get into the latest episode of Gamehater, I need to apologize. When I recorded this episode, I screwed up the recording software and cut off some pixels to the right and bottom of the screen. Fortunately, there's not a whole lot of action on those areas of the screen, so you aren't missing too much. But I do apologize for what you can't see, and of course I hope I don't repeat this mistake in the future. Please note that this mistake had no bearing on the final rating of the game, and enjoy the episode. Good evening, and welcome to another episode of Gamehater, the show where we play our dubious purchases and decide how much we hate them. The game of the night is Dinocide. I'm Steve from Gamehiker. Aaron is with me.
Good evening.
So, a couple things to point out before we even start the game. By accident, the first time I booted this, I always dive into mess with settings before we actually start playing. I accidentally set the language to Japanese.
Oh.
Yeah, so that was an adventure trying to undo that. And I also want to point out that this game is going for some kind of old school charm, as I'm sure will reveal itself, because it is apparently designed for a Sega Genesis controller.
Who would even have one of those?
I don't know. So I need to remember that A is A, B is B, and C is Y. So they acknowledge that no one's playing the Genesis controller. They just want the graphic, and they want to confuse me.
Yeah, I know. I understand the sentiment, but it doesn't quite work. At least use a Super Nintendo controller. That's easier to map.
Right. So, must be some Sega fans in the house. So,
those are the worst.
They are an inferior breed. Okay, this is save slot. I like the images for the save slots. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. Oh, look, we got a little bit of old-fashioned romance going on here.
Hello. I wonder what's going to happen to the cave woman.
Don't know, but there's an evil mountain.
It's very large claws. Oh my.
Yeah, actually, when you consider the scale, those claws are way too small for its head. Because he's
true.
Behind the mountains.
But yeah, especially the perspective. That's a really good point.
Yeah, see, we're already finding reasons to be upset.
That's good, because I was really worried I'd enjoy this game. I've got rocks, I guess, and I've got a caveman.
Okay, I think it's all you need.
Yeah. Okay, so I've got jump. Okay, jump is Y, which is an absurd place to put jump.
For some reason, you got a bar up there, and it's already going down for some reason.
Oh no! What does that even mean?
I don't know. Do you get hungry or something?
Maybe. I've got all the rocks I need.
Yeah, but apparently you don't have enough of whatever you have up there.
Got a tomahawk.
You're almost out.
What is going to happen to me? Oh, he needs.
Oh,
meat.
you need food.
He needs meat bad.
Need food. Okay, well,
Okay.
you kind of spaced that out a little bit too much, didn't they?
Crisis averted. I guess they wanted to teach us a lesson.
Yeah.
I like that. So he's just kind of wandering the plains, ravenously searching for
Yeah, and also if you happen to run into his girlfriend, that'd be kind of nice. I mean, there's other girlfriends out there, but
Is this grown-up zombie piglet?
it kind of looks like it, doesn't it?
Well, I'll just go ahead.
So, I mean, are you going to eventually get upgrades, or what does that do for you?
Yeah, it just keeps the rain off backgrounds.
Yeah, because you're not even getting wet anyway, so...
Maybe there's some secret there if I had been more curious. Let's make sure this thing's not...
Yeah. So the style of this overworld, I'm immediately reminded of Star Tropics.
You know, I never played Star Tropics.
Oh, you missed out.
Maybe
It's
a thing I'll
a game that's decent, but it would also be a good candidate for Gamehater as well.
Okay. That's an interesting combination. And the Skull Man has a hat.
Well, I mean, naturally.
A lot of modern clothing for the caveman setting. Is this some kind of post-apocalyptic return to the caves?
I mean, we were never given any kind of establishing story or what's going on. I mean, maybe this is just some, hermit or something that
Maybe.
doesn't care much for clothes.
Right. All the enemies are woodland creatures who stole his clothes. And... Oh,
Well, naturally.
I need meat that.
Yeah, what's gonna happen when you run out?
I don't know. I'm not clear on the consequences. I die. That's what happens.
Oh no!
Wow. I guess
This guy has like
my...
the worst stomach ever. He can't manage at all.
Right. He went like 15 minutes. Assuming there's some time distortion. Yeah. So I guess this is the kind of game you just have to rush through.
Yeah, I guess so.
Which is a shame. I mean, I like to hang out and enjoy my games sometimes.
Yeah, most platformers like you want to be able to explore, especially since you got like branching paths here.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming you're collecting stuff because you had that big thing over there that you knocked open, and there was like little things there, but you couldn't eat them.
Right. Gems. I've got a counter for them up in the corner.
Yeah, but you can't eat them, so they're useless to you.
They're useless. Maybe I can sell them for food.
Yeah, or you can buy a bigger stomach.
Okay, this is improving the situation.
Yeah, I got a little dino there.
Yeah.
He apparently has his own hunger needs as well.
Now the food needs to be blue. This is really cryptic.
It wants you to press the red button.
Yeah, I'll let's see what button's red. Okay, where'd my controls go?
I think you had keyboard instead of gamepad.
Yeah. Gamepad. A?
Red is A.
Okay. I can deal with that. Okay.
So he can eat them, but apparently he gains no nourishment from them.
But T-Rex does love grapes. Rah.
Oh, he can shoot fireballs.
Yeah, that's how we got through that. It wasn't obvious, clearly.
Yeah.
So I guess I have my choice of Tyrannosaurus fireballs versus arrows.
Okay, well that's cool. I can use either one of them.
Yeah.
All right. Well, now you're going into the Waterland.
So I guess this is more risky than I thought. So I'm collecting these things, and I guess I can opt to bring them into the stage with me.
Yeah. And I said you can just like permanently have a dino.
Well, last time I did lose my tomahawk when I died.
Ah. Oh, look, you get a little thing dinosaur. It's a plesiosaur.
Oh, and unfortunately, this is still standard platformer swim controls.
Ah, will anyone ever get it right?
No. Especially when you have a mount, right? That's the really disappointing thing here.
Yeah, when you have a mount, you should have much better control. I mean, I understand when you're playing as just a character, but this is an animal that lives underwater. You should be able to swim better than this.
Should be able to handle it. Okay, down. Down goes down. Thank you for letting me know that, game.
Yeah, I mean, if you wouldn't have known that otherwise.
Right. So, I don't know if you noticed, I've got this stamina meter in the upper left for my attacks.
Oh, no, I did not.
So I can't just spam everything. The mount and the tomahawk are both on the same meter.
Well, that doesn't make any sense at all.
No.
The mount should be his own.
See, like now I'm regretting the choice to clean up all those gems, because who knows if I'll have enough food.
Yeah, they could be a little bit more generous with the food, or at least include some way of holding it.
Yeah. I'm not even sure what mechanic is meant to bring to the game aside from time pressure. And I guess does that? Okay, yep. It also acts as a health bar.
Okay.
I'm glad I decided to test that towards the end of the stage.
So, I'm already struck by the fact that, this is a platformer. It's decent, but it's nothing special so far.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that bad. As far as games we have played on Gamehater, I'm pretty charmed by this one.
Okay. I mean, it does have a pretty fun graphic style.
Yeah, the mounts are fun. The caveman theme is pretty cool, even though I'm very confused about the clothing situation. Mounts are a fun mechanic. It's really some of the design choices are a little weird, like the penis monster, for example.
Yep, that guy was kind of a dick. What I don't get is, why do you have these gems that you're collecting? What are you going to buy with them?
Yes, that is a mystery. I would love to hear the answer to that.
It feels like you should be getting more kind of upgrades than just what you're getting from just collecting from the levels.
Yeah, maybe there's a shop I haven't noticed. Alright, penis.
Alright, guy, don't be a dick.
He's just helicoptering around over there.
Yeah, well, he's trying to shake it out.
Yep. Okay. So you think of all the eating I could have been doing while that guy was flopping around at me.
You know, whenever you make like a giant worm monster, I mean, you always get to go like a little extra step to make it immediately not look like a dick. They went the completely opposite way with that.
They're like, how phallic can we make this thing? I think the only question they asked themselves was whether it should look circumcised or not.
Maybe we'll get an upgraded version later on that isn't circumcised.
Perhaps so, yeah,
the wild version of it.
It is in the tradition of platformers to recycle bosses with slightly different color schemes. I think they could pull that off pretty easily.
Well, in this version of this game that didn't get done by the ESRB, it's considered the uncut version.
See, whoa, I lost my Deinonychus there.
Yeah, poor guy.
I do feel kind of bad about having my dinosaur's toe blades slashing at his trunk there.
Yeah, I know. When you think about it, it's like,
oh, and I didn't get to keep him either.
Yeah.
That's too bad.
I wonder what would happen if you took your little swimming die, like on a land level.
Let's find out. He is perfectly happy with the situation. He even spit bubbles. Oh, the bubbles suck now.
Yeah, because you're not underwater. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
It is pretty hilarious, though, that other than that, it's almost completely inconsequential that you have him in the land level.
Right. I don't think
it kind of makes the mounts kind of the mounts kind of gets pointless. All they have is just different abilities, which I mean that's something. Yeah. But
I mean, I guess the flip side of this test is to bring the T-Rex or something into a water level and see how he fares.
Right. The poor guy won't be able to swim. They'll get the little tiny arms.
Find out. With those legs, maybe he can tread water really well.
Good, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, so the one thing that's just really not doing it for me is this whole food meter mechanic.
Yeah, it could have been done better. It
Right.
puts you in too much of a hurry, but it's not a game that really moves that fast.
Yeah.
Oh, now you got him. I wonder what happened if you took the other guy in the lava.
Yeah, is he lava immune or is that just this guy?
Yeah.
I need that onion.
Yeah, but dinosaurs don't eat onions. T-Rexes, anyway.
How do you think he powers the fire breath?
Okay, well, yeah. You gotta fill him up with fruit and such. Wait, you're in Dino Age, and yet you have pictures of mammoths.
Mammoth, ooh, that is sloppy.
I mean, it's already wildly inaccurate to have humans and dinosaurs, but still.
Yeah, I guess I'm still getting so confused by these menus.
Yeah, you get to pick a few things, but...
Oh, okay.
Okay. Get a boss.
The boss fights are where the stamina meter for the weapons really gets in my way. I guess
it's our first boss here.
Yeah. Well, there was the sandworm.
Well, yeah, just a extra strong enemy.
Right.
This isn't much of a boss. He just has no interest whatsoever in being alive.
Yeah, I mean, he tried to lick me once just to see if I was clean enough to eat. I imagine.
That was a very, very underwhelming fight there.
It was. That's too bad. See, I've got no reason to go down here and murder that dinosaur because this caveman is a fruitarian.
Spiders? Giant spiders? The people who don't like spiders, you might want to avert your eyes during this segment.
Trigger warning: spiders and
Weedles.
Weedles. Yeah.
I'd say it's more like a cross between a Weedle and a Caterpie.
Yeah, it's the Weedle, the Caterpie model. I'm sorry, Weedle model Caterpie color scheme.
Yeah.
So, sorry guys, if you want to play this game, you're gonna have to wait until the copyright suit has been settled.
Unfortunately, we have exposed them for their thievery.
Charlatans.
Oh,
So,
you need your dino.
My dino.
This is our first instance where actually bringing something with you would make a difference.
Yes, and I haven't seen, excuse me, any indication that. Oh, gems. Guess I'll buy a dino. There we go.
Oh, okay.
Perfect. I haven't seen any indication that you can go back to stages and re-explore them.
Right. I mean, I'm not necessarily sure you'd want to, because like we've just established now that all gems do is buy stuff that you could normally otherwise.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes the gem collecting seem, you know, nice, but nothing to go out of your way for.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could have gotten some emergency food in that door if I was having a food emergency. But in fact, I'm having a worse food emergency now than I was before I opened that door.
It's true. It made everything worse for you.
It did. I mean, yeah, I got the dino, and dinos are excellent.
Right. You know, I feel like when you're on a dino, it should be able to eat the enemies.
For sure. Oh, this is cutting it close. Okay.
Wow.
I made it past.
I felt a single bead of sweat. Cautiously look at my forehead. It's like, no, not now yet. Oh, you got branching paths.
Paths. Let's do the beach. And we'll take a plesiosaur friend with us.
Well, he'll like that, won't he?
Now, educational moment. Plesiosaurs are not dinosaurs. They
What?
are...
They are Loch Ness
prehistoric-
monsters.
Yes. The general rule is that dinosaurs are strictly land animals. Boomerang. So if it swims or flies, it is not a dinosaur. It's just a prehistoric reptile from the same time period. Common misunderstanding. That said, I'm perfectly happy to have a plesiosaur in a dinosaur game because plesiosaurs are pretty sweet.
Yeah, although if we're breaking the rules of dinosaurs, I would definitely appreciate having a pterodon.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yep. All right, we got plesiosaur has paid off.
Yes, for that one tiny
little
butter
bubble.
segment.
I'm digging this boomerang. The physics are pretty fun on the boomerang too.
Yeah, that's a really nice
Boomerang.
weapon.
All right. See, now in the normal platform, I would have spent 5 minutes playing dodge the boomerang. But my caveman's hungry. This is
You know,
also not
it
a dinosaur.
strikes me how tragic it is that in Zelda 2, we didn't have a boomerang that you could use.
Yeah, that game would have benefited.
Just because boomerang in a 2D platformer works really well. How did you get all... Okay, there we go.
Yeah, super jump thing. Oh boy. Okay, see now I'm gonna get stuck being obsessed with going over here, and I'm gonna run out of food. Whoa, giant fairy snail.
And you got a bunch of gems that aren't going to do you any good.
Not worth it.
You're going to kill your plesiosaur.
Yep, right by the end of the level too.
Oh, so if you noticed, he had his own separate health bar to yours. So once he died, you had your own.
Yeah.
So it does
I
give you a little bit of
retained
extended life that way.
Well, sacrificing your mounts in a video game is tradition.
It's true.
So I gotta say, I'm a little disappointed in the enemy designs too.
You mean like the fact that they ripped off one of the early Pokemon?
Well, I can get over that. I mean, giant insects are appropriate for a mishmash of prehistory, but the random monsters just don't really gel.
Yeah, and honestly, they don't do much either. Aside from the giant penis monster, none of them have been particularly interesting.
That's true. I mean, the penis monster was floppy and wild, and quite the threat. But
And it also had like a. Why does that shoot lasers?
Right? Why does that? What is that thing?
Yeah, I know. It's like there's like, whoa, what's this? It's
I
is
can't.
it like an ankylosaur that's walking on his legs?
Yeah, it's a bipedal ankylosaur. Ankylosaur? I think it's ankylosaur.
Is that how you pronounce it?
I think so. Without going back to check.
My entire life is a lie.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a Berenstain Bear situation. Where everyone had the spelling a little bit wrong. But
Let's see, it's Ankylosaurus.
So the Y is before the L.
It is. I've never read it that way before.
No, I know this like 2 years ago. And I grew up in the 80s, so I'm basically a dinosaur expert.
Yeah, I mean, we had our
actually
Lands
are as
Before
well.
Times and our Jurassic Park, so we had to know this kind of stuff.
And the greatest children's toys of all time, Dino Riders.
And let's not forget our Beast Wars either.
Oh, Beast Wars, yes. A little late in the game, but Beast Wars was choice. This guy is the worst offender. Because it's like they tried to make some kind of reptilian thing, and then just did that.
Yeah, it's like, what even reptile is it?
I'm much less annoyed by the Weedles, just because giant larval forms is a thing that existed in unspecified prehistoric times.
Yeah, I hope they actually turn into something, though. I hope they get to evolve.
They evolve into snail moths.
Oh, there we go. There's a store. You can get some fruit or a dinosaur.
Alright.
You got this guy again. He's a raptor, I think.
Blind jump.
I mean, at least he has little toe claws like a raptor would.
Yeah.
His head's a little bit weird for one.
Yeah, his head's all wrong. It's more of a Triceratops head with raptor toe claws.
Well, you know, I'm getting pretty upset that this game isn't scientifically accurate.
Yes, this is becoming infuriating.
You would think in a game where you're running around as a caveman in a loincloth and a huge beard, they have a little bit more respect,
A little more respect
for the findings of, you know, scientists and so forth when it comes to dinosaurs.
Maybe.
Okay, now this guy has
He's
a
throwing.
sombrero and a poncho on.
So 2 points. One, that is super racist. The fact that he's throwing red feathers. And the other, how is he managing? He's just throwing away food? That shit is precious.
Well, he's actually bone, so I don't think he needs to eat anymore.
That's probably how he died.
Yeah,
He's like,
going way around.
I don't need this pepper. And then 10 seconds later, he died of starvation. You are killing me, man, with your being in my
You just
way.
need to jump into him, get your food.
I need those plums. It's a matter of life and death for me to walk past him.
You know, you rarely find any meat in this game. Doesn't seem right.
I'm telling you, he's a fruitarian, and especially with all the woodland creatures. Well, not woodland creatures that he's destroying. He's not making a meal out of any of this. That's very irresponsible hunting.
It is.
He should really be ashamed of his lack of conservation efforts.
I mean, it's supposed to be a hunter-gatherer civilization, but all he does is eat the food he gathers.
Right.
I mean, if you're trying to support his tribe, they would be kicking him out right now.
Well, no wonder his wife left him for a mountainous dinosaur.
Yeah, she probably knows how to get her food and do something with it.
Dude probably has an orchard growing on his back.
Yeah. Pretty solid tactic right there. You want to get you a lady? Great little orchard on your back. They like that kind of thing.
Women love fresh fruit, and they love going for things like apple picking.
They do. And when you can provide both... What? What?
No.
What?
No. This is egregious.
When did this ever happen in history?
You know, I was ready to give this game a thumbs up.
Well, this just ruined the game for me. My immersion is completely broken.
Not cool. Unless we are back to the post-apocalyptic wasteland theory.
That's true. This could be sort of a Mad Max thing where they're not dinosaurs, they're just mutant lizards. Oh no, you lost your robot, Walker!
Right. Yeah, that was... And I wasted a tomahawk, too. Right, so clearly the reason all these species are weird is that this is not dinosaur times.
Right.
These are a fresh breed of dinosaur-like monstrous reptiles.
And we can see clearly that all the Americans became cavemen, and all the Mexican became skeletons.
That's because of the wall. We blocked them out of the food sources.
I guess is what our inevitable future is going to look like.
What a bad jump.
I want to see if you get to keep that thing after the level.
Right.
You've got 2 separate spaces left for mounts, so
yeah,
that could be one of them.
Did I keep the Deinonychus or the Raptor, whatever?
I think so. Like I don't even bother killing, just walk through him.
Yeah, it seems that's a real criticism. Is I'm not really incentivized to deal with enemies.
Yeah, no, you're better off just taking that small little hit, walking through them.
Yeah.
As opposed to the time it takes to kill them,
right?
Where you lose your health anyway. It's not the best system.
It's not. And that's a really stressful jump too.
It was.
All right, deploy the anti-dino missiles. Deploy.
Those snakes are just such pointless enemies.
They are. I only have to deal with them if I choose to as well. They always pop up behind me.
Yeah, and they move about the same speed you do. Why would we keep our fruit at the same place an enemy's gonna show up? That's just dickish.
Well, they're trying to get the fruit, probably.
Yeah. I guess they like to eat too.
Those Mexican skeletons need to collect more peppers.
Nope. Oh no, you're gonna lose your robot!
Come on, pineapple.
Oh. Why does it need to be powered by food?
Back to the Future style.
Yeah, I know. It's got one of those little Mr. Fusions built inside of it.
Fusion garbage reactor.
Yep, so you got your raptor there.
Okay.
That's more like a bird there.
Yeah, so this is a plesiosaur. So yeah, if we don't keep the mech, then the bird, and we don't know if we keep the mech or not.
That would not have been my... if you have like 5 different choices for mounts, I would not have thought of having a robot as your mount.
No, not, especially with the theme they're going for.
Yeah, I would have done Pterodon.
Right, absolutely. No question.
Or if not a Pterodon, I would have done something
Pterodactyl.
That's faster, like a Triceratops that would go...
Nope.
Actually, no, we already know what that missing space is. It was that Ankylosaur, or Ankylosaur that you had.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if you get to keep that mount. The robot suit.
Maybe it cheated on the timer. That was really suspicious.
Yeah, it was.
Man, I really wish I had a plesiosaurus so I could control exactly the same way.
It'd have absolutely no difference whatsoever.
No.
Yeah, that's the one thing about these mounts that, like, all they're doing is giving you an extra health bar and an extra power up, which isn't always better than the one you already have.
Right.
That was a short level.
Yeah.
Like, you would expect them to have a little bit better mechanic, like having one that, you know, might make you go faster, one that swims better, one that flies.
Right. Emphasis on the one that flies.
Yes. Yeah, you need a better weapon for this one.
So it would seem that I don't have to worry about hunger. Yeah, I really should equip something.
Yeah, suddenly you get a boss where I'm like, oh, I'm not that hungry after all.
I'll deal with this. I'll power through.
On the other hand, if you're walking down an empty path, nothing going on, and you're a little peckish for food, you're just gonna lay down there and die.
Well, who hasn't been at the mall and just kind of collapsed because they didn't get to the burritos quite fast enough?
This must be one of the things that happened in the apocalypse, that people lost their ability to go for long periods of time without food.
Right. It's a side effect of all the radiation poisoning.
It's true. It made our metabolism go extremely fast just to be able to stay alive. You gotta eat, like, 100 pounds of food every day just to fight that radiation.
Only fruit, though.
Only fruit. And the rare steak.
Right.
They just happen to be floating there.
These bosses do seem to have egregiously high health beams. Granted, I am throwing rocks.
Yeah.
I did have the option to equip something better. Oh, right down to the wire. Excuse me.
Honestly, one of the fact you were just wearing, just having those stones, this would not be that much of a boss fight.
No.
It's like the first one is kind of underwhelming.
Boomerang ought to make short work of them.
Oh, yeah. That range is perfect.
And multi-hit.
Almost seems like cheating.
Hey, they let me do it. Yeah. New objective.
Wasn't for the stupid guy attacking, you can see how long you would keep that going.
I know. Everyone is such a hassle.
Nice.
Yeah, that was like a quarter of a health bar.
Almost got him.
It's like finding the weakness in the Mega Man boss. Only it's always going to be Boomerang.
Yeah. Well, like a weakness for anybody here, just being able to be hit a lot. There's like no real strategy beside where the weapon goes.
Right. Okay, so that was 2 worlds, probably a decent stopping point.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay. So I mostly like that game. I have to admit, it was a platformer. It has a certain degree of charm. I liked the prehistoric dinosaur stuff. It played fine. Smooth platforming. The weapon mechanics were kind of cool. Trying to get to the end of the level, keeping your power ups, and then you can store them and use them later. That was cool. But there were flaws.
I mean, for me, it was an okay game. It's just there's not much depth to it. You got the health meter, which wasn't thought out very well, and
Agreed.
It just wasn't a deep enough game for me. I mean, for the price it's asking for, $10 isn't much. I probably wouldn't pay full price for it.
Yeah.
If that's something I'd like wanted to have play.
Curious how long it is. It doesn't feel like it would be a very long game.
Well, yeah, I mean, we already could sort of tell it wasn't going to be a very long game just by looking at your item screen, which you had most of everything already.
Okay, yeah. How long to beat is telling me it's about a 2-hour game.
Okay, so we're about a fourth of the way through it already.
Yeah. Yeah. So the biggest negatives is the enemy design.
Level design.
Yeah, level design. Yeah, the health meter being tied to constantly needing to eat was very annoying.
And it just wasn't well thought out because you eventually figured out that why even attack the enemies if they take several hits to hit to kill when you just walk through them?
Right, and why explore the levels and look for secrets because you're on such a strict clock. There was the time I very nearly died because I had taken time to explore and go through a door to find a shop. So that was upsetting.
Yeah. So it's a game where they definitely put some work into it. It's a very attractive looking game.
Yeah.
It needed a little bit more to it.
Right.
A little more polish, a little bit more design toward their levels to make them more interesting. Like they probably could get away with the health thing if they distributed the food better, and if they gave you more of an incentive to want to go faster, and then balance out exploring versus going faster. Because eventually we figured out, well, there's no point in collecting all these gems because all it does is give you the stuff that the levels already give you anyway.
Right.
So there's really no incentive to go exploring. So it works against itself.
It does. It does for sure. There's some kind of incompatible mechanics, as you described. But I can see myself going back and finishing this game and having a decent time. However, all that said, there was the one very prominent deal breaker, which was the mech.
Yep, that's true.
which I don't understand why it's there. What it's trying to accomplish.
I mean, maybe if we had a little bit more history about this game, what setting this is supposed to be,
Right.
they might have been able to tell me on it. But the only story we got was that this guy was hanging out with his girlfriend, and a giant mountain dinosaur with extremely tiny hands kidnapped her.
Right. Which, by the way, was a pretty fantastic parody of how so many platformers in the 80s started off. You know, two people enjoying a nice picnic, and then some monster steals the female.
Yeah, it was very Adventure Island-esque. I think most of those games started out that way.
Yep. There was I don't think it was called Castlevania, but a predecessor to Castlevania arcade game that started that way too.
Right. Well, actually, I'd say this is probably most likely taken directly from the Adventure Island series, because that game had a lot of mounts, and that was back on the NES as well, before we even had Yoshi.
That's true. It also reminded me a little bit of Little Nemo, the Dream Master in the mount situation. Okay, it was called Haunted Castle. I just pulled up the opening on YouTube where a unnamed vampire hunter, who's probably Simon Belmont, is getting married, and as he leaves the church, Count Dracula shows up out of nowhere and steals his bride.
How ridiculous of him.
Yeah, vampires always doing that. So yeah.
Something good about ourselves is
yeah.
everything about this game, really.
Yeah, there's absolutely worse ways to spend your time and money, but it's got some serious flaws.
Right.
So my final rating, I think, would have been a closed fist until the mech showed up. And the mech, unfortunately, promotes the level of hatred to a middle finger.
Oh, wow. I can't believe it got that high.
Mostly towards the mech. You know, that middle finger towards the mech, closed fist towards the rest of the game.
I think my final rating is going to be a huge, waving, raging, monstrous dick.
Good thing we don't have cameras when we...
Yes, nobody wants to see that.
This is the first game that has inspired either of us to whip our dick out as a show of rage and dominance.
And let us hope it's the last.
Yes. Well, I don't know. I think you just add something to the standard scale. All right, so that was Gamehater reviewing Dinocide. We hate this game, and we're going to bed. Good night.
Good night.